Okay, the next couple examples I want to go over involve factoring binomials. And we're going to use patterns for those. The first pattern you need to look for is one called the difference of two squares. And here's the pattern. If you have something squared minus something else squared, it can actually be factored as one factor would be the first thing plus the second thing, and then the second factor would be the first thing minus the second thing. Similar to what we did with conjugates, and they are connected. When you multiply these back out, you'll get your a squared, you get your minus b squared. The middle terms will cancel out. In fact, I'll multiply it just to demonstrate that. A times a is a squared. A times opposite, you have minus ab. Multiply the middle terms, you get plus ab, and then we get minus b squared. So these cancel out, and we're left with a squared minus b squared. So this is something you should always be looking for if you have a binomial. Try to factor it as a difference of two squares. If it is two things squared, then we'll have two other patterns to look for that I'll show you later. Here's an example. Checkpoint 7b. Here we have a binomial. The first thing you should do is look and see, do they have common factors? 36 has 2's and 3's for factors. There's x's here. 25 just has 5 and 5. So there are no common factors, so we don't need to worry about that. But now we should look and see, well, can we use a difference of two squares pattern? Is 36x squared something squared? Well, the x squared definitely is. 36 is. So you put them together, and they are. And what it is squared is 6x squared. If you square 6x, you'll get your 6 squared, x squared, you get 36x squared. 25, that's the next question. Is 25 something squared? And you know it is. It's 5 squared. So what I've demonstrated here, and sometimes it's a good idea to go to this step, is that this is the difference of two things squared. It's 6x squared minus 5x squared. So using the pattern, the a part would correspond to 6x, and the b would correspond to 5. So using the pattern, we're going to take the first thing and add the second thing to get the first factor. So the first thing is 6x. Let's add 5. That'll be the first factor. The second factor will be your a, which is 6x, minus the second thing, which is a 5, minus 5. And so that's how this would factor. 6x plus 5 would be one factor. 6x minus 5 would be the other. If you multiply this out, you'll see that the middle terms will cancel out, and you will get 36x squared minus 25.